Right, welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be looking at the well-known bot PRISM AIO. Now, obviously this is on the 2.0 update. I made a video about this bot like quite a while ago now. It's got to have been a few months. However, a lot has changed. I had this bot, I sold this bot, and that's honestly probably one of my biggest regrets, because as someone in the UK, I'm going to say this is the best offspring bot right now. In February 2020, this is the best offspring bot in my opinion. But yeah, it's pretty weird because it's a US bot, but let's talk about it, and I'm just going to explain why this bot is so weird, but also so cool and so good. So it's quite a well-known fact that PRISM is primarily a US-focused bot, right? Now, looking on here, you can see I have actually run Foot Locker a few times. So although this is recent checkouts, and this is obviously a while ago, I'm on a weekly key right now, so you can see my old checkouts here. And on Offspring, I've been very successful. However, they don't appear here because they are PayPal checkouts, right? But even so, right, on Kids Foot Locker and Foot Locker, I'd never run foot sites before, not even joking. I check my tasks in, I press start, I get checkouts. It's such a good foot sites bot, and they've also been working on their Shopify module. That's really good. Their Walmart module was insane for PS5s. So looking at it in that sense, it is such a US focused bot. But why is it still the best offspring bot? It's so weird. But first of all, let's just have a look around the bot, okay? You have this lovely dashboard page where you can see I've got the 4 checkouts here from an old chocolate restock thing that I ran for my mate on. And then we also have 2 biohacks. One got cancelled and my reshipper never shipped the other one. So a bit of an L. We also have 25 failures. This was when I tried to use the Supreme module when the Supreme module literally didn't work. So that's why you can see I had 24 fails here. But, you know, doesn't matter. Now, something that I think is very important and very cool as well. A weekly release calendar that's actually up to date. I do say that, and there aren't any releases scheduled this week on it. However, you can see the previous days it was absolutely accurate, and it had all the sites releasing them. So fair play for that, because honestly, that is becoming rare. You're just not seeing up-to-date release calendars and bots. So to see that, I mean, you know, it's not super up-to-date, but it is Monday, so when I'm recording this, we'll give them a day off. But you know, the previous weeks they have been spot on. So we love to see that. So you can actually go to days, weeks, months, years, and you can have a look there. However, we are going to go into this task group setting here, and right now this is basically this is where all your tasks are, right? And it's done in task groups because in foot sites, on a drop, you're normally running for East Bay, Champs, Foot Locker, Kids Foot Locker. You're running for so many different sites. It just makes it easier to have them split up instead of in one big list, right? So you can just have each of them here. So with Offspring, I'll use this top one here. This will be using Cap Monster, and the bottom one will be using 2Cap. So this was very useful the other day on, I can't remember exactly which drop it was, but there will be a recording at the end of the video so you can actually see how it went. But where Cap Monster did not work at all, and 2Capture worked really well. So being able to kind of split them up just increases the chances that you can check out. You can't really do that in many other bots. In Zonos, you either have to go with Cap Monster or 2Cap. You can't really mix them up. This literally allows you to have them as 2 separate things, which is it's great. And that's the perks of it being a GUI bot. So to create a task, as you know, you create a task name. So let's call this test, and we're going to use Offspring as our example because it's one of the best sites, I believe, in PRISM. So then here you would put in the PID, and this is for monitoring. So what it will actually do is it will monitor the bot here. So the proxies you use here have nothing to do with your actual tasks. This is just monitoring when the product comes into stock, and then this is also your delay. And in capture settings, this is where you can select 2Capture, anti-cap, auto solve, or Cap Monster. So as I explained earlier, I have my 2Cap and Cap Monster in different things. You can also see statistics with the running, carted, successful, and failed. And you can also schedule your tasks here. You can put in all your information here. You can look in the settings. So this is if you want to just be careful and set a price max. Might be a good idea if you're being a bit risky. And you know, some websites, they do try and fool you, put the wrong things on a few Shopify sites. They'll try and do that. So this could just be a nice way to stay safe. To actually create your tasks, you press the plus button up here. This is where you select your profiles, or you can do a profile group. You can then use PayPal. Again, then this is your actual delay. So that's your monitor delay. This is your real delay. You then have your proxy lists, and then you can choose your sizes, so random and whatever, and then you can create your tasks. So this will use the PID that is in your monitor here. So it's not, I really like the fact how you can have a monitor and tasks That's great. So if you created a Shopify task, so let's say we were running Kith, that's the first Shopify site I can think of, right? And we were calling it Kith. You can do something really cool here with keywords, and I think this is one of the coolest features. And you can actually see it here in the example they put. You can put in, you know, plus, the example is plus Yeezy, right, and plus boost, okay? And if you put that in brackets, that it will now look for those keywords. However, sometimes they won't put that right, and I don't know, they might mess around with them a bit, put some dots in it. However, the thing that will be consistent is the SKU, the PID, which is normally like an FZ number on Yeezys, right? So in brackets, you could put plus, and I don't know, FZ 61624, right? That isn't a real PID, whatever, but it looks something like that. And so you could put that in, and if you know it's going to pick that up, so it's like, look for this and this. So because it comes first, this will be the priority, but I really like the idea of non-dependent keywords. I think this is in quite a few bots. However, it's a feature that I wanted to actually speak more in depth in because it's great and should be used. In these things, you can also put like variants and stuff in here. Again, if you enable variants, this is where you can just paste them all in, as I was saying. So sharing groups is really cool, and it's one of my favorite features because when I see people getting loads of checkouts on a site that I maybe haven't set up before, I don't have it in my task groups, you can just use their setup in the Prism Discord server, and it's great because you open it and then it takes you to Google Chrome, you press open Prism, and it literally puts their task setup in there for you. An idea like that is really good because it shows how it's kind of helping everyone out in the bot, right? If everyone has the same setup, or if someone's being successful with the setup, it's a great way to share it, and it's the bot kind of coming together and uniting and helping one another. Because sometimes if someone's like, oh, what's your setup? It can take a while to explain, whereas the bot will literally do it for you, which is, I mean, it's perfect, right? So let's X out of all of this, and yeah. So going back to my offspring tasks, you can go here, and as you can see, this is a shared group, so I've literally copied this from someone. And you can go to update all, and this is how you can mass edit tasks, right? So you can see I have all my profiles there. You can then use PayPal, which honestly, I'm not even sure if it works. I've tried this before to set all my tasks to PayPal using this. I think mass editing your tasks to PayPal doesn't work, so that's something they do need to look at. Prism devs sort that out soon. Delay, again, this is just changing your delay for your tasks, not your monitor. You have to remember they are different things. And then you can change your proxies and sizes. And you can also hold down shift and then, you know, select custom groups, and you can see update selected, delete selected, all that stuff. Now here you can see the tasks running, carted, checked out, and that have failed. So that just gives you an idea of what you're looking at there. Let's continue on to billing. So most of this will be blurred, but this is basically all your billing profiles. This is very standard. I'm not even going to go over this. Proxy lists, again, super simple stuff. You put in the name of the proxy list, call it test, chuck in a proxy, press create, and you're done. They do have an inbuilt tester. Again, most bots do. You wouldn't really use it. And moving on to settings here. Now, I'm going to start a new thing when doing these bot reviews because I see this in a lot of bots. And Prism, I wanted to talk about it, right? It has the worst standard checkout sound, like, in a bot. This is a 1 out of 10. I'm going to start ranking these because some bots have pretty sick, like, checkout sounds. But if I play this, I'm sorry, in a drop, when you're hyped up and you're about to get pairs, like, a triangle chime is not what you want to hear. I'm sorry. Maybe something a bit more of a ka-ching. It's too high pitch, I think. I'm sorry. Like, Prism is a great bot, but I guess the fact you can change it, right, that's nice. So I'm obviously going to change it. But for a default effect, there's definitely some work to do there, boys. But yeah, like, it's not a big deal, but I thought I should go over it because, honestly, that just isn't it's not the right checkout sound for me. You do have all the cool third-party integrations with Hue and Nanoleaf. I have never seen that in a bot before. But if you are paying around, like, £2,000 for a bot, it's pretty cool to be able to connect them to your fancy lights and whatever. You can also look at your cookies used, so you can refresh that. Obviously, I haven't used any, so there. You can then import and export all your data. So site options here, this is just quick tasks. Size groups, this is quite cool. I created a size called Bay Sizes. If I just want to create base size tasks, I can do that super quickly. Shipping rates, standard Shopify stuff. Accounts, these are my undefeated accounts. And then harvesters, this is where you put in your cap monster, 2 cap. And then here you can see I could put in, you know, whatever, slide into Gmails, put in proxies. All that stuff is in this tab here, which took me an embarrassing amount of time to figure out where it was. But yeah, it's just in settings and harvesters. I don't know why I didn't look there, to be perfectly honest with you. I just want to go back and talk about Prism quickly, right? Because it's a weird bot to actually wrap my head around because of the way they've set it out. This is, I mean, fundamentally, right? There's no way of lying and saying that this isn't a US bot. It's a foot sites bot. The majority of its users are US. But somehow, and I don't know why, they are the best offspring bot. And it is weird, right? Like, I don't know how to explain it. And they're trying on 𝙎𝙋𝙊𝙍𝙎. However, that is such a hard site to bot. I wish them, like, the best of luck with that. I'm definitely going to try it out a bit, but I hate 𝙎𝙋𝙊𝙍 with a passion, and yeah, I'm not sure how that's going to go. But I find it so weird that a bot so focused on the US, with a majority US user base, you know, or even interested in offspring, surely they would say, no, focus on either better Shopify or better foot sites, you know, focus on the sites that we can bot. However, there must be a fairly strong EU demand in there for them to actually set their developers to work on offspring. But it's got to a point where, is it so good that it's almost worth the money? Now, I'm not going to say it's worth $2,000 just for an offspring module, because obviously changes at any second could go in and essentially break it, right? Prism isn't going to lose value because of its foot sites, but I just find it really weird and very interesting, the fact that a bot so expensive, such a perfect foot sites bot for people in the US, is actually such a cool EU bot. And I don't know, it's just something I want to share. It's like the best offspring bot in a £2,000 US bot. So it does a mix between UK and US sites, I guess. I mean, again, as you saw, if I go back to the site list here, it is mainly US sites. Again, these are pretty much all Shopify sites with some foot sites lurking about. You know, obviously, you have all the Foot Locker new region and old regions. I do believe it does do fairly well on new regions, but they don't seem too hard to bot as long as you have the right setup-ish. And yeah, you do have Office and Offspring, which essentially it kills. When Offspring shock dropped this Jordan 1 silver toes, I wish I had this bot. I saw its success and I was like, right, I need to get a weekly of this bot. I need to actually talk about just how crazy Prism is, because it's so weird. But yeah, I don't really understand it. It's not really a bot you would rent either for Offspring, right? Offspring, they rarely plan a drop, right? That it'll be maybe once a month. There'll be actually a timer on the website. So they're normally shock drops. So it's hard to like plan. So who is using this bot for Offspring? That's my question. Now I've ran it and I'm going to attach some footage of me running it like in a second. But yeah, with Prism has been incredible because I love the UI. It's great to use. It's got a great user base. Sharing tasks just makes it so easy because you can just, you want a quick setup, you see some checkouts, you can literally copy that setup straight in. Super simple to use. Really haven't had any issues with it. I guess the thing is saying, if you're paying £2,000 for a bot, you want it to work. And I had this bot for under 12 hours, and I got, I believe, 11 pairs of dunk disrupts, which, I mean, is crazy. Is it worth £2,000? Absolutely. But maybe not for UK. You might want to be more US. £2,000 just for an Offspring and Office module? Maybe not. But here is my success with Prism on Offspring. So yeah, it was pretty weird getting that many pairs on a US bot. If you guys did enjoy this weird video about probably one of the, I mean, it is one of the weirdest bots on the market. I do not understand it at all. I've kind of spoken about it pretty quickly, but I just don't understand almost their game plan here. It's just like, they've always been good at Offspring. They used to have a capture bypass, and it was incredible. But what is their game plan from now on, right? They've got a bit in the UK, and they've got mainly in the US. You know, if they allow renting, I think that could be interesting. But again, as I said, Offspring shock drop, so it's not really something that is feasible. It's something that I'll definitely like to hear your opinions on in the description. You know, what is PRISM? It is a US bot, but it's so good at these UK sites. I feel like, you know, they should almost make a second bot that's like a bit UK, like PRISM EU. I don't know. Super weird. I want to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. If you guys did enjoy, be sure to like the video. If you need any proxies, check the links in the description and the codes. I can get you a few discounts on them. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.